Oh, hello there, and welcome to another episode of News from the Gelding. So, how are you all doing? I hope you're all very well. So today, this is just going to be one of my old news ones. So I'll talk about any pertinent news I might have and show you the new paintings that I've produced over the last couple of weeks. Right. First thing off, I've been thinking of changing this channel's name. I'm not sure at the moment. It's just that the news from the Gelding always related to my books, of which I don't really talk about anymore. So I may change it. Any possible suggestions that you might have, please let me know. I'm currently thinking The Wizard's Sleeve. But I may, if enough people want me to keep the old name, then I shall do so.
Ooh, I've got an idea. Sexy Sir Percival's Wand Emporium. Yes.
We are not calling it that, Sir Percival. Please, button it.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's get to the news. I got 2 more parking tickets. Right, so that's 4 I've had this year now. So I pay for a parking permit every year because my work car sits on our little tiny driveway. And it's an absolute nightmare around here because there's certain bays that you can't park in. They're just for anyone to use. But it's not very clearly marked. So I left the car there for about 3 weeks and just assumed it was in the right bay, and it wasn't. So I returned to find two tickets, only 2, luckily. So yeah, that was lovely. I went a bit mental as usual, but what can you do about it? These things happen. It won't be happening again. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so it's been a bit cold lately, hasn't it? I'm wearing this blanket to make me look a bit more hobo-y. It's because it's bloody cold in here, and because the energy increase, the prices went up at the beginning of this month. We're being a bit more careful about the use of our power. One electric bill we had a couple of months ago was over £200 for 1 month. So if it's gone up, God knows what it would go up to. So we're just being quite careful. Also making use of a hot water bottle. I haven't got it at the moment, but I had one on my lap earlier to warm my cockles. What else? We rewatched Taboo, the Tom Hardy series. Absolutely love it. If you haven't seen it before, please check it out. It's on the iPlayer at the moment, and it's on Netflix. But yeah, I really like it. Really liked it. I mean, it's very far-fetched, but bloody good. I have a use for you. He says that a lot. Okay. What am I at the moment? I'm reading another book. I'm reading a new book. This is the second compendium of Clive Barker's Books of Blood. So books 4 to 6. I've almost finished that. So when I have, I will probably review it. But yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. I'm enjoying going back to Clive Barker's writing. I haven't read anything of his for a while, and it was nice to get some back in the old noggin. Some very interesting ideas. But we'll talk about that another day. What else? Oh yeah, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Mother. Yes, we all, those that could, we all convened at the Chapman residence and had a merry time. Hopefully I've stolen some footage from my sister's YouTube channel, so that might be playing now, maybe. By the way, that's the Primrose Fairy, if you want to check that out. I'll put the details down below. She does craft stuff, making craft whatnots and various fairy shit in a nice way. Okay, yeah, check it out. Okay, what else? Right, so the other thing, let's get down to art business. I have changed the layout of my studio. I know I did a studio tour recently, but it's made it redundant already because I've already changed it, but not drastically. So normally I have the easel behind me, but I've now crowbarred it into this corner of the room, which meant moving my desk this way a bit and my other desk further down the room. It was a fucking nightmare. I knew I had to do it. I'd just been putting it off, but it's going to be far better as well for the painting, the live painting stuff I've been doing. So I've just switched to my other one and you'll see, there we are. It's just there. So just to the side, and there's me there. So yeah, so I'll be painting here. And I've got this piece of glass that I'm going to use as my palette. So then you can see me actually mixing colours. Hello, who's that down there? It's not Sir Percival, it's Sir Athelstan. What are you doing down there?
Good morning, young man. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
He's inching his way closer to Sir Percival, one of his gentlemen callers. Yeah, so that's all set up. That should be quite nice. I mean, it's not the best setup in the world. What am I doing? Turn this off. But it's all I can afford at the moment. Yeah, I could do a better camera really, but bugger it. I think it's okay for what I'm doing. It's more about just seeing me do it and relaxing at the same time, hopefully. Anyway, let's just cut to the paintings. So what have I been up to? Right, I'm just going to go through them in no particular order. They're all stacked in my makeshift drying rack. So the first one is the one that I did the last painting with Jimmy episode. So here we are. You might have already seen this. So it's this one here. Now I've taken photographs of these, so I may overlay better quality ones if and when they are needed. But yeah, this is just a piece of frivolity, really. I just quite enjoyed doing a bit of relaxing painting. But it was also interesting to work from an underlying painting that would inform what went over the top of it. Didn't plan it in any way, and it's always interesting to see what pops out at the other end. Anyway, right, next one. This one is one I've already shown actually on another one. So this is another nude, but I've repainted some of it because now for this I will overlay the photograph, because basically the original suffered from kind of greying out. So what you can have if you're overlaying flesh tones or of a pale nature over a dark ground, sometimes it can appear grey. So you looked a bit zombie-ish. So I did another layer over the top just to bring some warmth back to her buttocks and whatnot. So yeah, that's what I did. Next, what should we go for? Oh, this one here. I'm quite happy with this one. I'm not quite sure what to call it, but there we are. I don't know if you remember back along, I had this kind of abstract background, and I said, I might paint something over the top of that. But then I thought, I probably won't be able to because of the raised paint, it being quite thick. But then I realised that in the middle it is quite flat. So I was able to paint this over the top, and it was quite a nice little niche to add this face to it. Obviously, as usual, it's of a Japanese lady, but yeah, I really enjoyed painting that. It was quite tricky, I must say, but I think it's quite effective. So yeah, see what you think. Anyway, next. So this next one is just an abstract one. So this one I painted over an old. So I had this draw. I may be able to find it if I photographed it before, but it's. I spent ages drawing this portrait that was going to go over this kind of turquoise background, but it had been hanging around for about 6 months, and every time I looked at it, I thought I just can't be bothered to paint it. I lost interest in it. So last week I just thought, bugger it, let's just paint whatever. So I'd been practicing mixing colours, and I came up with these quite nice, a nice purple and a nice orange, and I just laid it over, and I used the drawing again to inform the abstraction that went over the top. So anyway, I'm going to use that abstract background to do another, maybe a portrait over the top of that. I haven't decided yet. But there we are, that's that one. Okay, I've just got one last one to show you. It's another portrait. And it's another Japanese lady. So there's this one here. So, yes, again, I was quite happy painting it, but it was very tricky. Again, I took a photograph earlier, so I'll show that for more detail, but the difficulty I had is that whilst I have a kind of a palette of colours that I use, 4 flesh tones, I don't stick rigidly to it, so I always go with what the reference I use tells me. And so this one had some interesting deviations from what I normally use. Slightly, so some of the shadows had green in them, and so I was able to use some of the background showing through to inform that. But yeah, I had to think a lot more with that one. I think it turned out okay in the end, and I did it relatively quickly as well, so that was a bonus. Okay, so there we are. Those are the paintings, the new ones. I'm going to be listing those over the weekend, I suppose. I list them on eBay and on Etsy, but so if you're in the UK, you're better off buying them from eBay. They'll be cheaper. The ones on Etsy, I have to take into account. You have to offer, ideally, you have to offer this free postage for American residents. So obviously that means I need to slap on around £30 to cover that. So yes, if you're an American watching this and you want to buy one, yeah, get it off Etsy, because that will be the best price, because I also reduce the postage that you're paying as well. But if you're from the UK, go for eBay. There we are. There we are. There we are. Okay, right. I think that's it. Short and relatively sweet. Relatively short and a little bit sweet. Okay. I'm going to be doing another live painting session soon. So the one I did, the very first painting with Jimmy, that abstract one, I think I'm going to paint something over the top of that. Just some extra, maybe I'm thinking flowers and perhaps a skull, just to give it some more oomph. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how that goes. I'll be doing it all on the fly. So if I bugger it up, you'll see me buggering it up in real time. But because it's dried, I should be able to wipe it off and it should be none the wiser for it. Yeah, no one wants to buy it as it currently stands. So yeah, what I tend to do is let a painting sit for a while, and I make sure it's in my eye line in the other room. So when I'm watching the television, occasionally I start staring at my paintings, and I can tell what needs doing to them. So that one needs a skull and some flowers. So there we are. And I've got my eye on one of the other paintings as well. That needs something else doing to it, but if I do it, I'll show you at the time. Yes, right, just one more thing I forgot to say about this. So starting, I'll probably be uploading this on Friday, I assume. But after that, I've got 2 weeks off. So I'm planning to do a fair bit of painting. I may do some live painting things, maybe. And I will do maybe just the one, reprise the old chat and ale session. So that will be a live stream ale drinking extravaganza. I'll do one of those things so you'll know when it's going to be. So if you want to attend it, you can do so with your ale of choice at the ready, and then we can talk about all manner of things. That's the plan anyway. Right, but my plans usually go tits up, so we'll see. Anyway, the earlier John's going to say goodbye now, but I'll say goodbye too. Cheerio. Right, let's call this a day, and yeah, I'll see you very soon. Okay, cheerio. Say goodbye, Sir Percival.
Cheerio, you bastard.
Oh, and say goodbye, Sir Athelstan.
Oh, cheerio, you sexy beast.
Oh, Sir Athelstan.